Sneaker trends, styles, and prices are always evolving. Let's get insight from a couple of people who live and breathe the sneaker culture. This is The Status of Sneakers. First up, I called my good friend Chris Unsold, Baltimore native now located in Colorado, a sneaker veteran and a former shop owner with decades of experience within sneaker culture. Thank you so much for joining us, Chris. I know you have years of experience in the sneaker game, and I want to pick your brain a little bit about it in today's interview.
Well, I appreciate you asking me to do this. It's always an honor to do any kind of interview. Thank you.
How was the sneaker scene when you first got involved?
At the actual collecting side of things in 2002, 2003, I worked in skateboarding. Nike SB had just really began to launch a great quality shoe. And I found out that they were limited edition. You know, once they were gone, they were gone. There was no restocks, things like that. And I remember a gentleman showing me the Heineken SB Dunks shortly after they had come out. And he told me that they were very limited and that on eBay, which was the only aftermarket platform at the time, that they were selling for about $400. Now, if you look up the Heineken SB Dunk today, depending on size, that's going to be about $4 or $5 grand. So the money aspect really wasn't that important. It was more about the, oh snap, this is hard to get. I want to be able to get them. And then they were doing releases, fairly frequently. I don't remember how long it would be, once a month, I guess. There just started to really be a lot of generated interest. There was a platform also called Nike Talk that I was pretty involved with, and people would post, about upcoming releases and things like that. And then you kind of cross-reference, on eBay, these are going for a lot of money. Growing up skateboarding there in Baltimore City as well, Fells Point was a big hangout. And, on the weekends, it was you would skate during the week, you'd skate during the day, and then you needed some sneakers to hang out and kind of try to pick up girls or whatever we were doing,
What brands or collabs are standing out to you the most right now?
I'm a huge fan of what New Balance has been doing, these past couple of years. I feel like when they introduced the Late Bembury into the 2002s and in the 1906, that it pulled some interest because, here in the U.S., I think, and especially where I live now in Denver, Colorado, just outside of Denver, I was just at SneakerCon the other day, and everything is Nike and Jordan brand, and there was very, very little New Balance. So I kind of always like the stuff that is a lot more challenging to get. Probably some of the most coveted shoes in the last couple of years have been the Action Bronson 990 V6. So for me, it's always exciting I like to call it sneaker hunting, because it kind of is. You have to go out and figure out, where it's going to be and even online, like you have to hunt things online. So. But yeah, as far as collaborators, I think New Balance is in the forefront.
Is the resale market growing, cooling down, or shifting in a new direction?
I think that it's definitely cooling off. I'm hearing a lot more, and I even see it. You're finding product in places like Ross and Burlington Coat Factory, and Marshalls is another one, TJ Maxx. You're finding more and more rare items in outlet stores. People buy things now and they think, I'm just going to buy them because I'm going to make some money on them. And then they don't really have the knowledge or experience of what they're doing. They just know it's an exciting product that's coming out. They go and they buy it. They can't make money. And then they return it to these stores. It's less about, I think, collecting and the excitement of hunting these items down versus it's an extra way I can make a little side money.
How do you stay connected to the culture without letting hype control your views and thoughts?
I look at a lot of different websites, from time to time. Obviously, social media is a very powerful influence, on what I'm deciding I want to purchase, for myself, or if there's resale on it. It's always a little back and forth. I go through periods where I buy a lot to sell, and then I buy a lot for personal. But my influence really at the core of me being a reseller, a collector, whatever you choose, is skateboarding. And I look at the power of influence from skateboarding. Andrew Reynolds, who's one of the best that's ever done it, he just came out with a shoe that basically is top performing skateboard shoe, but also comes with a lot of influence from New Balance lifestyle brand.
What is the status of sneakers?
Well, I think that the culture it's being overlooked because most people, not all, but a lot of people, just buy these things to make a little money off of, and that's really killing it. I camped out for this shoe, just the other day, and people were asking me, "Oh, what do you think that shoe's going to do long term?" and this, that, and it's not just about acquiring a shoe. It's about how much money I can make on it now, and that kills, I think personally, the culture, the collecting side. But I love this stuff. I always have. I always am going to. I don't ever see that changing. It's been a love of mine for well over 40 years, and it's crazy that I still get to be involved with it pretty often.
Chris, thank you so much for your time and your insight.
Thank you, Ty. Really appreciate it.
After my chat with Chris, I headed to White Marsh Mall, Maryland. There I met with Josh, the manager at Endless Souls, a resale shop specializing in sneakers of all calibers. I came to get his insight on the sneaker resale market as well as pick his brain about his experiences as a sneakerhead.
I'm Josh, I'm the store manager here at Endless Souls White Marsh. Been in the sneakers about 12, 13 years now. So since I was in middle school, that's what started me off.
What shoe started your sneakerhead journey?
First shoe that got me into sneakers, I'd say it was a LeBron 9 South Beach. My friend gave me a pair because they couldn't fit them. And then after that, it was just all...
How have you seen the sneaker aftermarket evolve?
I've watched it evolve from Nike basketball shoes in general, to old Asics coming back into style, then Dunks coming back, to now Jordan 4s, Jordan 1s, when they were a thing, selling for $1,500. It's just like, hype-wise, it's never something new. It's always old stuff that comes back in. Business-wise, it's kind of hard to dictate what is becoming popular because you have so many customers coming here asking for different stuff, like Louis Vuitton. Some people want regular Dunks like this, regular Jordans. It's just always a customer for everything.
What collabs are moving the best right now?
I'd say like collab-wise, the Jordan 4 Brick by Brick that just came out back in March, that's probably been one of our best sellers since they came out.
Have bots and online drops changed the way you go after sneakers?
It has, but it hasn't. In the same instance, it can be harder to hit on a shoe on release day, but I also have people that do it and they're willing to sell it to us at whatever cost is, plus like $20 on top of each pair. So it's hard to say for me.
Do you think the sneaker aftermarket is oversaturated or cooling down?
Definitely oversaturated right now. The past couple years, ever since COVID, they oversaturated everything, and now they're trying to recoup everything back to make everything more limited. But it's certain shoes that they're oversaturating the market with. Still Jordan 1s, Dunks, they still come out with new colors every other week. Some things they just need to put it back in the vault and not touch it for 10, 15 years.
What goes into consideration before investing in a sneaker?
Mainly me, I'm very analytical when it comes to it. If it's a new shoe that's coming out, such as when the black metallic Jordan 5s came out, I was diving into like the stock numbers to see how many pairs were available. It was about 150,000. So that's how I knew what to invest in it. 150,000 pairs, not everybody is getting them, not all stores are getting them. If we get a bunch in, we can drive demand up.
What's a trend you didn't see coming?
Everybody going back to Asics. I wasn't expecting it at all. I like them, but it's just like everybody saw one person wearing them, then everybody else wanted them. I'm not gonna lie, I have a pair of Asics myself, but mine are older and different. But like all the new ones that are coming out, every kid wants to come in here and get the same pair that that kid got. That kid has it. Oh, I wanted it in a different color, I'll get that. I just wasn't expecting it.
How do you balance being both a fan of sneakers and someone who works in the resale world?
It's kind of hard because there will be things that come in here that I want to buy for myself, and I know the store always comes first, so if the store wants it, the store can get it. Just in that aspect, it's kind of hard because like I'll have something that I've been looking for years come in, but also the store wants it, so of course.
Where do you see the sneaker aftermarket heading in the next few years?
There's definitely a lot of changes, especially in today's economy with all the tariffs. Everybody is starting to up prices on everything, so it'll either go up to the point where people can't afford sneakers and kind of like kill the market completely, or there's a 50-50 chance that the more money people are making now with all the everything going on in the world, more money coming in the sneaker market, people are willing to buy a lot more.
What is the status of sneakers?
I have no problems with it. I just like watching it change over time and figuring out like what people are getting on to next. That's why I have a whole staff here that's diverse in every way. Shoe, I have a guy that wears nothing but designer. Then you have me, which is like Jordans, stuff like that. I love watching how diverse it can get.
Josh, thank you so much for your time and letting us pick your brain about sneakers.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate it.
Everyone has their own unique relationship with sneakers. These were just a few perspectives. Thank you for tuning in.